The open media category recognizes exceptional journalism, primarily in text form, produced by any media outlet based in Canada. There are 5 finalists in this category. The first finalist is Michelle Jarvie of the Calgary Herald, with her entry titled, "Can the Sad, Short Life of One Boy Save Others?" Alex Radita died in May 2013 in Calgary, weighing only 37 pounds, neglected, starved, and mangled by the effects of untreated diabetes. But he'd been taken from his family by BC Children's Services in 2003 when he was at death's door, his life saved by the Children's Hospital of Vancouver, and set towards a healthy future within care. His parents petitioned for custody and were granted it in 2004, moving to Alberta a few years later and allowing the systems to lose track of their whereabouts. Jarvie pieces together the lack of communication and coordination, tinged with the hope that commitments made by the sources interviewed will be fulfilled. The second set of finalists is Charles Rusnell and Jenny Russell, the I-Team at CBC News Edmonton, with their entry, Private Health, Public Risk. The province of Alberta has funded, to the tune of millions, Pure North Synergy Foundation twice by 2 different governments. The foundation offers a program advertised as an alternative, preventative health regime involving multivitamins and supplements, including high doses of vitamin D, offered to vulnerable populations. The team dug up various trails with concerns over how the program was being run, who it was ultimately benefiting, and the lack of any real science behind its claims. Faced with these concerns each time, the province twisted and dodged, but didn't pull any of the funding. Our third finalists are the team composed of journalists from the Toronto Star, CBC Radio's The Current, and CBC's The Fifth Estate, with their entry, The Motherisk Investigation. Motherisk was a medical lab housed within Toronto's renowned Hospital for Sick Children, which started peddling its hair tests to those seeking information on parents wrapped up in child protection investigations or court cases. Following the lab's work being discredited in Ontario in 2014, and the lab being shut down shortly thereafter, this team went looking to tell the stories of the parents whose verdicts had relied on Motherisk results, and how those results kept being used after first being thrown into question south of the border. Here's one example of how a Motherisk result may not have reflected reality.
So how could the Motherisk test be so wrong on 4 separate occasions? Well, Tammy uses a lot of hairspray. She sent it to be tested. Turns out it's 70% alcohol. The lab would ultimately agree some hairspray could produce a positive test result.
That's the smoking gun.
Yep, that's what it was.
Our fourth finalist is Andrew Duffy of the Ottawa Citizen with his series titled Fire and Death in the Ottawa Valley. The series starts with reminding readers of a cold case, a murder that happened in the rural areas south and east of Ottawa in 2007. Ontario Provincial Police are still working on that case, but in the time since then have also tied in other murders, along with arsons and other incidents into their ongoing investigations. An OPP investigator explains where the investigation was in 2017.
In this particular case, we have a map which lists a number of fires that occurred in the Winchester Springs area, Moorwood area. Then you look at there's a number of homicides that have occurred over the years. They're kind of telling because they all seem to be in a very tight area. Some of them are witnesses or people that have spoken to the police and then ended up having a fire on their property.
The final finalist in this category is the 7-person team from the Canadian Press, with a series looking back at the 1-year anniversary of the Jordan decision. The Supreme Court of Canada ruled in July 2016 that any delay longer than 18 months in provincial court or 30 months in superior court could lead to the charges being set aside due to unreasonable delay. 12 months later, the journalist's work noted thousands of so-called Jordan ruling requests have been filed, with more than 2,000 cases tossed as a result. It also showed that unless higher levels of government change legislation and or provide additional funding for the justice system, Canadians will continue to see some of those accused of some of the most serious criminal offenses be set free due to these delays.